Let's just say when I moved out, I learned that everyone has a different definition of what clean is. I also learned that everyone has a different tolerance when it comes to living with messes. And these boys' rooms that I'm about to show you, they are not tolerating the mess, they are setting the bar. We might even have to invent new categories, possibly terms to describe the pigsty that these people are living in. We're about to take a look at this account that goes around and shows off different boys' rooms in New York and Pittsburgh, which I think is in Philadelphia. I'm actually pretty sure it's in Philadelphia. I think the variety of room that she is showing is quite shocking because obviously I went into a binge sesh when I found her TikTok account. Some of these rooms look like they're staged, fake, and are part of a set, but some of these rooms I'm like, okay, this is kind of realistic of what a typical boy's room who is like in their mid to late 20s would look like if they are single and they lived in New York scraping by. So it's not like completely fake, but to stop people from commenting saying that, oh my god, this is fake, this series is fake, this series can be scripted. But let's find out together. And by the end of this video, let me know if you think this is scripted or not. Let me know which rooms specifically you think are staged while the other ones are real, because honestly, we're gonna take a look at 5, maybe more, depending on how long this video gets. Like I said before, some of these rooms are pretty realistic. The name of this TikTok account is called Boys Room, and it's an account that's fairly new that barely started posting. It has 157k followers and 1.4 million likes. The bio says, the show where we investigate boys' rooms, hosted by Rachel Coaster and Gymnasium. Let's just jump into this content and see what we are dealing with here. I'm gonna show you her very first post, the very beginning of this series, or where I believe to be the very beginning of this series. I don't know if they have this on another platform. In terms of on TikTok, this is the very first video that they have posted.
The show where we investigate boys' rooms.
Oh, what's up, Blake? You're on Boy Room.
How's it going?
Can we come in?
Yeah,
Oh my god, dude.
it's pretty fucked up.
Blake's room, it's kind of just a classic messy guy's room in a way that feels like set decorated.
Have you ever washed that blanket?
I don't remember.
He has
If he doesn't remember, that's gross, but she just mentioned, okay, this is a classic boy men rooms that look set decorated. That's how messy it is. But they're right, it looks like a typical boy room, clothes everywhere. Just wanted to highlight the fact that she said this looks set decorated. Is it real? Is it not? We will see.
clothes rack and an amazing closet, and all of his clothes are just on the floor.
Is this all dirty or is this stuff clean?
I kind of have, I have a feeling of which is which.
Oh, that's good.
The ceilings aren't very high in this room, which would be a problem, but fortunately, Blake is a short king.
I don't hang out with many tall people.
All right, we couldn't be friends, Blake, because right here, I'm a stallion. I'm tall, I'm big, I'm thick. Not really thick, but I'm big and tall. So we couldn't be friends. No offense to the short king. I mean, you're the one who says you don't have many tall people over. How am I supposed to feel? Like, how am I supposed to feel if that is the statement that you are making? I think I'm allowed to be a little hurt, but you should really choose a struggle then. You gotta either have a messy room that you can't bring people back to, or you can be a short king. Some people love the short kings, and maybe they would want to come back to your bedroom, but if it's looking like this, that's 2 red flags. At least for me.
All of his drawers are seemingly empty, except for knickknacks that he could easily throw away.
Blake, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh my god. There are 28-year-olds who have like full houses and dogs and like children. And Blake is only creating sick beats and nasty piles of t-shirts.
And this is what it's like nowadays. I am, let's just say, in between 25 and 30. Do I have a house? Do I have a full-on kids? No, I can relate to you, Blake. I just can't relate to you so hard to the fact that I'm a short king or my room's a mess like this. Not relatable in that sense. But let's not judge him, because we're all going through hard times right now. And glass houses don't throw stones at other glass houses, okay? Not trying to get shattered here.
My vision for Blake's room is if we got him maybe a garbage bin so that he could put all of his receipts in there. I would put all of the clothing that's on the floor onto the racks that are readily available. I would also
Hold on, okay. She's giving me like glow up girl vibes. Okay, though, this is what we're going to do to approve him. At least these people are consenting to the interview and they're not like glow up girl and she's just like, look at this guy's room, posting on the internet and then showing what he can do to fix it, which is not as bad as what she was doing, of course, because she was doing it with people's physical appearance. This is just doing it with people's private rooms. But in this case, at least they're inviting it. But let me get a trash can, which is the bare minimum of what a room should have. I think every room should have a trash can, especially when that closes. Okay. No one needs that funky smell that can be coming from the paper towels that you're leaving on the floor, my guy.
also get him a desk and an ergonomic chair because I'm worried about his spine.
Sometimes if my back's hurting, I'll sleep on the floor.
And I would get him a duvet cover because every boy in Brooklyn seems to need a duvet cover.
Well, that was the very first episode of this series. I did like how she gave them ways to improve. I don't think he needs a desk or anything like that, especially if it's that messy in his room. He just needs multiple hampers and maybe where he can sort them by whatever way he wants to do his laundry. Well, let's get on to the next one. Next, we are looking at Luke's room, who is 24, lives in Lower East Side, New York. It looks like his room is part of a bike shop. Let's see what the vibes are like. Okay, let's see.
Welcome to Boy Room, the show where we investigate boys' rooms. Today, we're going to Luke's room.
What's up?
Can we come into your house?
Sure.
Awesome. Oh my God. The space is amazing and then it's like very stressful. Luke's room is really messy. He has a bunch of bikes kind of hanging precariously over where he sleeps, which is a futon that he doesn't roll out.
Is your back all fucked up?
I don't know. I don't have great posture.
There's no signs of life at all. In fact, there are some signs of death.
What's the
All right, yeah, okay. This room is bad. It is chaotic. I could never ever live in something like that. To have a futon? I had a futon in my spare room and I couldn't even sit on that shit without it hurting, so I can't believe that this guy sleeps on one. I think the floor would be better in this situation. But it's kind of crazy. The first two guys, their vibe is really laid back and they don't really care. Is this really all you need to like survive? I don't think you're thriving, but to survive, it's the bare minimum, am I right?
What's that down there?
It's a bottle of bleach.
Oh, cool. I'm loving the snowboarding boots in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's a really creative move. Garbage on top of garbage on top of bucket on top of garbage.
Yeah, I feel at peace when I'm at home. I like working on bikes like all night long.
Okay, makes sense. I think I've already seen like 3 bikes since I started this video. And if that's your passion, cool. Your apartment works perfectly, I guess. But at least get a bed. Please at least get a bed.
If I was a girl coming over here and I saw the pile of clothing, the bleach, I would think that maybe he disintegrated a woman.
Good point. Good point. I didn't even notice those red flags. Pretty smart girl right here. But also don't expect me to go back to your place and do anything if it looks like this. Once I see that, that's the biggest red flag that I need and I'm walking out the door. At least have the decency to make me wait outside while you straighten up real quick and put things away before I go in there and see that. Because if I was in the mood, that's a mood killer. Instant mood killer, actually.
My big note is that I would have a bed in it, at least twin size. I would replace the bucket of bike parts with maybe a bedside table or something. I would maybe have a curtain so that he's not abruptly woken in the morning. I think we should take down the bikes and maybe even just put up posters of bikes because he does seem attached to them. I honestly like the crystal. That's kind of cute. Boys will legit fix bikes they found on Craigslist before they fix them.
Oh no, girl. All right. Yes, I hear you. That's a funny little joke. They'll fix the bikes before they fix themselves. But girl, you said that you're going to remove the bikes. You said that you're going to add a curtain. You want to put a poster of the bikes? It is clear that that's all he cares about. That's the thing that he's prioritizing at this point in life. It's not girls. Well, at least I don't think it's girls. But separating him from his bikes, I don't think he wants to live in that apartment if that's the case. Like, even when you say, let's remove the bike parts, it's not realistic then. It's not realistic because that's what he wants. Bike parts in his house. But why don't we give him a way to actually like make sure his bike parts can stay there, but they're hidden at least. Not just like a little side table where you can't You're just replacing the items. But I think the biggest point that she made is the crystal that can stay. The crystals can stay. What is up with people and crystals? I don't have any problems if you believe in crystals and you're like, this has this power and this helps with healing and this helps with X, Y, and Z. But out of that whole apartment, the only thing that you said can stay is the crystals? Interesting. Is that a red flag for me? Possibly. All right, the next room we have is Dan, 25, West Village, New York. In the caption, it says, on today's episode, she travels west to West Village where she visits Dusty Dan, who has the fanciest space but a servant's quarters. What a read. That's actually... I give you props on that caption. That was good.
I don't really even want to touch it.
Oh.
I guess this is just where he stores his dust.
Is this your room?
This is my room.
Oh my gosh, it's like giving me the creeps. Dan's room is a complete shocker to the senses. His shoe rack is a crumpled box, and his bedside table is an abandoned suitcase. Dan is nothing if not resourceful.
This is an adaptive reuse of a clothing purchase I made earlier.
You're incredible.
My alarm clock.
Well, at least he has a trash can. I mean, he didn't call it a trash can, but he's reusing this bag for a trash can. And he's so resourceful that he decides to store the dust on the shelves. I can see where he got his name, Dusty Dan. Loving it.
Is this thing.
Walls are brown.
They're not brown, they're orange.
Really?
They're like a burnt sienna.
All right, girl, they are orange. Stop trying to make it look like he has the dirtiest room ever. But I mean, is it ugly? Yes. Who the hell wants an orange room?
Experimental drugs and a high school diploma.
That lamp was not here when I moved to.
I really love what you've done with
Yeah.
the place.
This room is nuts, but the living room is crazy. And the craziest view of New York City.
What?
This is like the most squandered opportunity of a place.
There's no furniture in the living room, only weird pieces of art that we are not allowed to touch, enormous bottles of vodka, and a mysteriously large crate of unknown origin.
Whoa. That view of New York? But I haven't been in New York, so I don't know what is a good view and what is not a good view. To have just a couple of cases of vodka in the living room just sitting there waiting to, be brought out, I think that's a typical boy or typical frat boy room or frat boy house. Because clearly he's living with roommates, especially with a space that nice in New York City. And a room that disgusting.
Know what's in there?
What's that?
It's a disintegrating Bible. I don't even know how old it is.
And who brought it here?
I don't know. I don't know.
He didn't know who brought him the Bible, but someone saw his room and thought he needed Jesus. That is the only thing that makes sense at this point.
Get him a bedside table instead of the suitcase, a medicine cabinet for all of his experimental drugs. I would replace the cardboard box with a real shoe rack, and I would change the color of Dan's walls to something normal like white. It feels like a Roman palace, but this room is like the servant's court.
I agree with everything that she just said there, including the suggestions that she's made. I think it's very practical for those changes to be made, especially with the color walls. Blue, orange, and what, green? I don't even know. But the blue and orange don't match with the wood grain furniture and the dust. Yeah, I don't know who thought this was okay, but okay. Next one is Tom, 35, from South Philly, Philadelphia. We traveled out to Philadelphia to see Tom's extremely unfinished hazard of a room. Would you live without a door? Not if I had roommates.
Is it hard to date without a door?
No, not really. I mean, maybe.
Tom's room is a working construction site. I was worried that he might be squatting, but it turns out he just bought the house and never really finished it up.
Very, very valid assumption. Wow. It does look like he's squatting. It looks like he found an abandoned building and he's trying to abuse the system to be able to gain the ownership of that home. Because first of all, who would choose to live in something like that? But not only choose, but pay to live in a reconstruction zone looking house like that.
I live a busy life. There's a lot going on every day.
Yeah, I get that.
His bed is only half useful because the other half is covered in clothing.
This is how I would sleep. Kind of like this.
Is it stressful sleeping kind of just smack dab in the middle of the room?
Yeah, people say I do not look happy when I'm sleeping.
Look, you can hate on him, but at least he's not sleeping in a futon, alright? And he's kind of abusing the system with the queen size bed and having all his clothes on one side of the bed, and he has the other side for himself. He technically might be one of the smartest people that you know, especially when he decided to move into a half-empty, reconstructed house. He doesn't have the space or the drawers or the closet, clearly. It looks like his bed's in the closet, to hang his clothes. So he keeps them on the side of the bed.
He has a fitted sheet hanging in front of his window, but it only covers, I would say, 2 inches.
There's like a street light right there that like that kind of blocks perfectly like the light, like the beam coming in.
Is a belt.
This guy is giving straight male resourcefulness. He's like, I don't need the whole thing blocked out. I just need that particular section. And, you know, I did the calculations and I know that that blocks a street light at least. Love it. Would I do it? No. Because I'm not trying to look bummy.
Coming out of your wall.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that. People like hang out in my room when I'm not here.
He also has a safe that's not his, and he has no idea what is inside it.
A lot of people have keys to my house.
How many people?
10, maybe. It's annoying, actually.
Oh, there's a lot of
Like literally 10 people have keys to your house. You have a safe in your room that is not yours. And people hang out in your room when you're not there. No wonder why your house looks like that. It makes sense. I think someone else is squatting and you're just part of it. You might be paying this person who is squatting rent and not knowing that they were squatting. Because clearly the whole thing is a red flag. Everything that this person has said is a red flag. This one might be a set, guys. They might have just ran across an abandoned building and this is where someone was staying real quick and they just used it as a set for this video.
stuff behind your bed.
I got all this stuff hidden in here. It's probably here. In Philly, we don't throw anything out. We just kind of like pile it in the corner.
My vision for Tom's room is that I would finish the closet and put a door on the wall. I would replace
The bare fucking minimum. Okay. Yeah, that's actually what I would do too. The first thing would be a door. People need some privacy. And let's lock it. And we can put the safe outside the door so whoever's it is can come pick it up. But let's lock my door to my room so no one's just hanging out in there. Like, I don't know why people would want to hang out in there unless you're doing illegal substances, because there is nothing in there that is for entertainment. Where's the TV? Where's the PlayStation? Where's the computer? It just looks like a bed with clothes and trash on the floor. No, thank you.
fitted sheet with a regular curtain that fills the whole space. I would also push the bed up against a wall and take all of the clothing off it so that he could sleep comfortably.
I'm actually just gonna take a nap now. This is so comfy.
Oh yeah, I understand the appeal of that.
Oh my god, the type of concentration and focus I would have to even lay down in that place. And when I mean concentration and focus, I mean concentration and focus to just imagine that I'm in a different place, because the fact that I would feel like there's something crawling next to me while I'm sleeping there, oh hell no. And they live in what, Pittsburgh, New York? Aren't they known for their rats? You're better than me, my guy. And don't interpret better as in actually better. I just mean that you're stronger than me in this situation. I can never do what you're doing. Lastly, this is the most recent episode of the Boy Room show. The guy's Danny, 31, lives in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. She goes and visits Danny at his haunted taxidermy mansion. Oh, hell no.
How many taxidermy do you have in your house?
From anywhere in the house, you should be able to like see a dead animal.
We walked into Danny's room and it feels less like a boy room and more like Satan's lair.
But I live right next to America's most haunted prison, which is
Okay, and then you're gonna have a whole bunch of dead animals, a Ouija board with a hand on it, and then you're gonna say that you live next to the most haunted... He said most haunted prison? Oh my god. Gross. Hey, you better stop it. And it's not because he's gingered why he's acting this way. It's because his mom and dad raised him like Tarzan, and this is why he's so obsessed with the animals from the forest, okay? It's going to take many years of therapy, but he will get better eventually.
part of why I moved here.
There are a bunch of dead animals in Danny's house.
I have a taxidermy dealer. I met him on Craigslist. He texts me all the time and he'll be like, I got a real nice raccoon if you want to see it.
Danny's in a throuple, so he has a really big bed and he also has an awesome chair really close to the bed for no reason.
It's not a cuck chair.
It's not a cuck chair that's so close to the bed. Why do you have that chair facing the bed? It just I mean, the fact that you just said that it's not a cook chair just makes me believe that it's a cook chair. Those of you who don't know what that means, look it up, because I don't even know if I can explain that here on YouTube.
I'm glad we cleared that up. What's going on with these sticks?
So I make stick art from the garden nearby here. So this is like the Blair Witch thing. There's a lot of them like around the house.
Is that real or they surgically modified
So
that?
that's a guy in Etsy. He like buys animals and then sews extra heads onto them.
Seems really chill.
The ones that we have seen, it kind of feels like some are a little real, some are a little fake. But if this guy is faking this, he's doing such a good job and he deserves an Oscar. The answers that he is providing for us, I'm eating them up. They are so funny. They are good. I found this guy in Craigslist that he just sews these two heads. No. Ugh.
I love him. He was so communicative.
I would be really scared to sleep here, but I wouldn't mind coming for like a seance.
I'm pretty sure this house isn't haunted, but also like everyone that stays here does have a haunting story.
I wonder why. I wonder if it's the dead animals staring at them while they sleep and then them using their imagination, because it's not that hard to imagine one of those bears or one of those pigs coming at you in the middle of the night. Maybe they're sleepwalking, going to the bathroom. Oh my god! Ah! Something bit my foot. Oh wait, it was just a Cheez-It on the floor. But let's see what she recommends for this guy.
I think Danny could make his room a little bit less scary by adding some flair. Like maybe give the bear a top hat. I would replace the Ouija board with a board game. Why stop at 3 crosses? Let's just cover the wall.
All right, okay, this is funny. Yes, give the bear a top hat. It would make it a little less scary. Let's replace the Ouija board with board games. I think that could have been done from the very get-go, and that could have been the very easiest thing to do. It just seems like he had it set up in a place where if something wanted to start talking to him, it could have started talking. Maybe he wanted that. And he only had 3 crosses, but if people are coming and telling you that they're having haunted stories, yeah, you probably should have increased it like she said a very long time ago.
I think that Danny should have a living animal in here, like maybe a goldfish.
I just love animals.
Dead or alive.
It doesn't matter.
And that was the best advice so far. Maybe he should have a living animal that he takes care of. And I think a goldfish is perfect because it's a little harder to stuff. We don't need a situation going down when one of his dogs or his cat dies and he started stuffing those animals and putting them in his apartment as well. Oh, did I just see Whisker? Oh, yeah, I did just see Whiskers. Why isn't he moving? Because he's stuffed. That's gonna do for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you think about the rooms, whether you think it's staged, whether you think it's real, whether you think that some of these boys need to be checked into a facility for how dirty they are or how they're living, because at the end of the day, I mean, if you're paying rent, might as well pay rent to kind of live somewhere is finished. And if you accidentally saw your boyfriend here, don't just dump him because you're seeing how they live. Just check on them and see if they need any help and what they need from you. If this is your little brother, make sure to go down and visit him and knock some sense into him, because he ain't getting no bad tea living like this.